My name is Samara Hagan, and this is my presentation on human psychology and physiology. The goal here is to find out how these two aspects relate to humans, and also how they affect safety of flights, and how all of this plays a role in the decision-making process. But first, I'd like to take a second to know and understand how these two things, physiology and psychology, differ, because I know they sound a little similar, but they are very different. So first, let's look at psychology. Aviation psychology is defined as how it involves the study of humans' behaviors, actions, cognitive, and emotional processes in the aviation field, and also investigates the psychological problems encountered in the flight deck. But what does that even mean? What is human behaviors and whatnot? What does that even mean? Well, it kind of means how you psychologically, when you're confronted with a problem, how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do? What is your thought process going to be? What are you going to do to solve that problem? So that's what the psychology is. Now, aviation physiology deals with the physical and also the mental aspects and their effects of flight on aircrew personnel and passengers. So physically, how are you going to react? If something happens, are you able to physically react to it and not just lifting like a giant metal bar off of you if you there's an accident and something happens. It's about how you physically react. That whole fight or flight concept. Are you going to get stuck and frozen, or are you going to do what you need to physically and mentally? And the correlation between these two things has everything to do with humans. It's about our bodies and our minds and how those are necessary in aviation. Now, whether we think about it or not, especially when you go to the airport and you're just trying to get through baggage claim, it takes a lot more than just a person to get your plane to its destination safely. What is going on with that person individually? The pilot, the aircrew, the passengers themselves. Those people all play a role in the aviation safety, whether we think about it or not. And in that aspect, it has everything to do with safety as well. It's not just about the pilot that's piloting the plane or the aircrew that's bringing you your snacks. It's also the passengers as well. But speaking of pilots, my example is Captain Sully. He's actually really well known for landing a plane safely in the Hudson River without any casualties. Now, his quick thinking and adaptability is all part of psychology and physiology. He was faced with a problem when that bird hit the plane, basically, and when his quick thinking was able to land the plane, probably not in the most ideal conditions, obviously, but in without any casualties. And then now that's ideal. When it comes to safety, you don't want anybody to perish because of something your quick thinking. Imagine how that could have affected him if he didn't do everything in his power or wasn't even capable in himself to deal with that problem and land that plane safety with everybody safely and alive. But his actions to this day, he's known as a hero. That's amazing. And this is all part of the decision making process. Captain Sully is a great example. Like, what was he thinking? Like, he relied on himself and, and his quick decision making and to solve the problem. And he, like I said, was able to land that plane very safely. The psychology and physiology is the core of the decision making process in aviation, especially when it comes to safety. It's how we know we can respond to a problem mentally and physically.